It's really scary to go on YouTube and show how little you know and show all your mistakes. It can be really embarrassing. So I really appreciate all the super kind words and the encouragement and the wonderful advice. Hey everyone! So I wanted to answer a few questions about why did I get into beekeeping, and as a beginner, how did I prepare to become a beekeeper, and what are some things I've done right, what are some things I've done wrong. So thank you guys for watching, and let's go ahead and get into it. I became a beekeeper because I am the kind of person who picked up caterpillars when I was a kid and played with worms. I'm fascinated by nature, animals, bugs, you name it, I like it. And the other thing is, you know, we hear a lot that the bees are dying and save the bees. And so I felt like if I'm gonna get into, you know, having my husband, he does fish tanks, for instance. So I felt like if I'm gonna do something like that, why not pick something that can help? Another thing is when I moved to Middle Georgia, I developed allergies for the first time in my life, and they're bad. So people told me that local honey helps with allergies. And at first I was buying it, and then I thought, you know, I would really like to harvest my own honey if I'm going to be buying it anyway. And, you know, I got into gardening my own food. I got into raising my own chickens. So, some people joke that chickens are like a gateway drug to all this other stuff. In my case, I don't know if the chickens or the bees came first. You know, people say, did the chicken or the egg came first? In my case, it was like, did the chicken or the bees come first? I don't remember. It was all the same time. I did my research. I watched some YouTube videos, and then I joined some Facebook groups. And the very first thing I bought was actually my equipment, because in my head it made more sense to have the stuff for them so that when I was ready to order the bees, I'd be good to go. So there's a few things I learned. You have options when it comes to how you want to keep your bees. Some people like to keep them in like a nuke box, and they do lots of splits and they sell their splits. Some people like 8 frames, some people like 10 frames, some people like mediums, some people like deeps, and there's benefits to all of these. There's downfalls to them. Some people like top bar. You know, I went with the Langstroth hive because bees like to naturally move upward. I went with a 10 frame. That is the equipment I bought anyway. I know in my videos you're not seeing a 10 frame, you're seeing an 8 frame, but I'll get to that in a second. The next thing I did was I researched what kind of foundation I wanted to use. So a lot of people are they promote the black foundation because when you're looking in the light, you can see the eggs and the larvae much better. So that's what I went with. But bees do not like plastic. So I researched that as well, and I painted with a regular roller some wax onto the foundation so that the bees would be more likely to accept the foundation and build their wax on top of it and build their comb. So from there, I did some research on some companies, and I found a company that's 2 hours away from me, and I ordered a package of 3-pound Italian bees. For me personally, I chose to go with a package. So far, I feel like everything I did there was right. Completely full. Hundreds of thousands of bees died because USPS put the packages of bees inside of a truck. They took them to a hub. They left the truck in that hub without any ventilation for 24 or 48 hours. So my camera's dying. I'll wrap this up really quick. Get your bees shipped. Start with 2. Buy from a local beekeeper. Go pick them up yourself and make sure you do your research to make sure the people are reputable as well. So those are the lessons I learned the hard way, unfortunately. But yeah, that is why I got into it, and that is the stuff that I've learned. So maybe in another video I'll explain how I ended up with 2 established hives, because that wasn't our plan, but it was a very pleasant surprise. And yeah, we started off very confused when we got into these hives because we didn't know what we were looking at. The bees had already done a lot of stuff and we didn't get to watch them do it. So when we opened up that hive, we didn't know what we were looking at. I mean, we knew we were looking at drone cells. We knew we were looking at, we didn't know why. And thanks to all of you amazing beekeepers who have been answering my questions, we have learned so much just in this week. And we feel much calmer, much better. So if I have any advice, it is start doing your research very early on. I read books. I took a course from MABA, Metro Atlanta Beekeepers Association. So I encourage you to take a bee course. I encourage you to start looking for a mentor very early on. Maybe shadow them before buying your own bees so that you can be more experienced when you get into the box, unlike me. And so those are some things that I would really, really encourage, just because I didn't do them that way and it was so much harder. So if I had, it would have been easier starting off. But I do want to end on this note. It can be stressful. It can be a lot of work. It can be a lot of learning, but it is really worth it. It is amazing.
They're so smart, and they're just fascinating to watch. It's like gardening. It's a really relaxing hobby, and it reaps a lot of rewards, including honey. So
I hope that you guys, if you are thinking about beekeeping, I hope you pursue it. If you don't want to become a beekeeper, you could always support a beekeeper. You could let them use your land, or you can buy local honey. All those things support beekeepers. So if you already are a beekeeper, thank you for being an awesome beekeeper and for helping me with all of my questions and not being mean, because it's really scary to go on YouTube and show how little you know and show all your mistakes. It can be really embarrassing. So I really appreciate all the super kind words and the encouragement and the wonderful advice. See you guys next time.